7月底 ，OpenAI 把自己一个模型的价格砍了80%，理由不是打价格戰，是他們把最強的那個模型丟進 Codex， 讓他去重寫跑模型自己的那層程式。
And then the amazing thing that's happening is like when we push the frontier of capability for like the most advanced models that we have, then we can use these models in order to figure out very, very quickly how to serve or how to restructure or re-engineer our stack in order to gain very significant efficiency or performance gains. So we haven't just improved, this is something that we will publish on as well, we haven't just improved the cost efficiency, but we have also improved the speed efficiency. You know, outside of ultra-fast, things have gotten significantly faster over time.
They have.
Like if you plot it, it's like, you know, the amount of, just the amount of speed that you get now is like, you know, roughly 60% faster than, you know, what it used to be like 3 months ago. From the models, I think it is in some sense, but it's much more, you know, infrastructure and then, you know, being able to then take that and then point it back at itself.
Yeah.
And so, of course, like we're doing that. It's like if we were not doing that, I think that would be pretty silly.
講這段話的人叫 Thibault， 現在管 OpenAI 的 Codex。在那之前，他在 Google DeepMind。
And then it was internal, and then there was also this ambition to make it into a publicly available tool.
What year was this?
And this was, it's like a year before ChatGPT, roughly.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, but we were also building all sorts of other things that I'm not going to talk about, but it was a very creative place. And then just DeepMind was not set up to ship product. OpenAI is a very, very different place in that sense.
回到現在，他最近發了一則推文，講的是他自己手上這個產品。
Is a few weeks ago, I'm going to start with another one of your tweets because, you know, these are bangers. Codex will seem primitive in 2 to 3 months. We're about to go through another major evolution. The next generation of models need more than your laptop.
Another thing that, you know, you realize when you have very, very powerful models is that your laptop kind of becomes a constraint in and by itself. You know, the amount of work that you can do on a laptop, it was designed for humans, right? So it's designed roughly to be able to absorb the amount of work that, you know, you can produce, or, you know, how fast you can type and how fast you can think, you know, how many applications you need open. All these things are human constraints. The model doesn't have the same constraints. The model can, like, you know, for example, handle, you know, 100 applications opened at the same time perfectly fine, you know, maybe in the future. And so in terms of access to resources, it's very clear that, you know, models of the future will need access to more than the resources of your lab.
那速度真的變快之後，一個人的工作方式會變成什麼樣子？
With current token speeds, I find myself kicking off 10, 15 agents in parallel.
Right.
And that becomes a pretty significant cognitive overhead for me to do that context switching and just constantly, because you're kicking it off and you can expect 30, 45 minutes before my task comes back. Now with ultra fast speed, that workflow changes significantly. And I don't think I would be able to have 10 or 15 agents. And that might be a good thing. Maybe it's 3 or 4 at a time. How do you see the workflow of a solo developer changing over time?
Yeah. So I think managing your attention and being much more, you know, friendly to your attention is something that we care a lot about. Like, after all, like, we're trying to build for humans. We're trying to be like build the technology that's the most empowering.
但在同一段時間 ，OpenAI 在最前沿踩了一次剎車。
Can you talk a little bit about, so as we're on the topic of recursive self-improvement, OpenAI, Sam Altman talked about pausing the absolute frontier of RL right now, I believe. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what was that decision like?
And so we're seeing a huge surge in investment on this, and also the pause was sort of like necessary to allow like the teams and individuals like just really understand and harden all parts of the system to then, you know, ensure that, you know, we could restart training with, you know, like full command. And this is something that, you know, I believe OpenAI will always continue to do, like when necessary. I've not seen us internally not able to make such decisions like very efficiently.
最後講一件跟模型能力完全無關的事。
And, you know, this is how I still treat it. It's like, if we break it, or if the experience is suboptimal and we don't fully understand why, it's like, you know, we will compensate for that. We will reset. the usage limits. And then, it turned into like quite the thing. Obviously, there's a whole reset button now, but there isn't really a lot of scrutiny behind it. It's like it's not done in partnership with like marketing or finance. It's just like I can press the button whenever I want, whenever it feels right. And we have these principles that we're trying to build something amazing, and when it is not, it's like we will make up for it.
Yeah.
模型回头改写自己的底层，最前沿的训练被按下暂停，用户的额度被一个人随手重置。这3件事发生在同一间公司同一个月。他自己的说法是：我不太看竞争对手，我只问我们能唯一做好什么。